Roger, this is your Sky Captain speaking. We're going for a nice scenic tour of the city of London. I hope you enjoyed this nice relaxing cruise over the main river and then some of the iconic areas in order to catch the big landmarks that this place has to offer. And if you do happen to reside in the city, be sure to let me know if I've flown over where you live, because those comments are always fun and exciting to see, as this is definitely a big area and there is a lot to offer here. And I hope I get the locations right. I've never actually been here. I've always wanted to do like a sort of European trip, and it's nice that I get to somewhat live that in the beautiful landscape that is Microsoft Flight Simulator. So first up, we have the O2 building. We're going to fly in a little bit calm in there to kind of get a look at the intricate details in the wiring. I will mention that we are using an RTX 2080 Ti with an i9 9900K. If you are noticing some slight performance dips, that's because we're recording on top of that, and it's a little bit more work in order to get the computer to handle it. I am working on solutions in order to, get some sort of external option. But there's the O2, quite well detailed and very exciting. So right here, I believe, is noted as the Isle of Dogs. It's a very cool section where you're noticing that kind of the river, the water flows in between the various buildings, the dock system. It's quite intricate and very, very cool. And if you'd like to see other locations in Flight Simulator, let me know. We'll see if I can visit some more of the hotspots and cool locations across the world. I also really I just love what they've done with the water details in regards to, the game's water, but also the city, how they kind of have it come in for different little docking areas despite being a heavy downtown section. It's very cool. It's something we just don't really have a lot of here. So I guess the Museum of London Docklands is down over there. Kind of like a little circle-y area. That's kind of cool. Nice little water bump there too. Oh, actually no, I think it's more down from there. But that circle area is really quite lovely. Very, very interesting. You're actually going to see landmark tickets pop up. Yeah, right over here to our left. They're now available. Cool little green spaces littered throughout this place. Very nice to see. And we're going to slowly be moving inwards. So first up we have the Tower Bridge. Now the Eye of London I don't think is actually detailed in the game from what I understand. Location wise, it's not really showing up, or unless I'm missing it, just so that you are aware. There's the Tower Bridge and the Tower of London. I really like the intricate details they've done here with the architecture. I think it's very well done, the castle and the bridge. And then we have the building, which I don't know the name of because it's always kind of covered. I also find it just hilarious that so many of the bridges are kind of underwater. I think it's funny, and you see vehicles kind of traveling across them. Definitely a bit of humor in that regard. So up here we have Big Ben and the Parliament building, and to the right there are some, of course, very important locations that we'll have to visit, but we're going to follow the stretch of the river in order to give a full showcase of the city, and then we'll wrap back around and talk about those a little bit more, or at least with some more depth to them. Seeing kind of the winding area. Again, very beautifully detailed here. I'm pleasantly surprised by the look and the structuring of the Parliament building. Very, very cool. And then more of the city on the outside. And of course, we got some lovely areas there that we'll have to talk about in a bit, because I'm just kind of building up towards that particular area. I'm wanting to show off more of the buildings and the architecture that does show up along, this river. And I guess this is a bit of a children's zoo up here on the left. So that's kind of interesting. I didn't know that. It looked like a bit of a, sort of fields where you would play sports and stuff. So you might do that there too. Unless I'm thinking of an entirely wrong area, but I think I'm following this fairly exactly. And this is the River Thames. I'm saying that right. If you're wondering what the big river artery is here that we are following along, and I'm trying my best in order to give accurate depictions of the area, especially for someone that hasn't been here. But Now I feel like I've really experienced it by flying over it, which is always fun. And they got a bit of a wetlands center over there. See that up at the top of the river. We're not really going to fly over to that section though. We're actually going to kind of wrap back around in order to cover our key locations. Seeing our little great tour plane going along. I think this one's good for the speed in the showcase here. Maybe if I turned off the clouds, the performance would dip up again even more. Great, so we've got a couple park areas that are, here kind of sprinkled throughout, but the big one is over there. You can see where it's got like a big pool of water. The park over there is, I believe, Holland Park. So that's kind of cool if you're interested in those kind of details. That's kind of a nice little park design there too. Just adjusting our flight. And lots of little buildings here, and I'm sure if someone was like from this area, they could go into like such greater detail here. So this area there, you see the big circular little pool of water. That is the building to it. The left of it is Kensington Palace, and this is the Princess Diana Memorial Fountain area, right in there somewhere. I don't know if it's particularly captured in this. I don't know if it's 3D. So it might not be. I don't know why I pointed that out then. But this area here in general is Hyde Park. And then up over to that side there, that other little green extension area, that is Buckingham Palace. And all of the little cool spots that kind of go with it. I'm just going to fly over to that angle a little bit too, so you can kind of get a deeper look at it. I always thought it would be a bit larger. They make it feel so big. In video and pictures and that, but yeah, no, it's a very centralized area, and we're going to turn back a little bit. I hope I didn't miss the Eye of London. I feel like it just isn't like visually being captured. So I did want to show off the fact that there is also a really cool sort of zoo area. If you're wondering why we're tipping over to the left a bit here, it's to showcase that zoo area, because I thought that might be a nice little kind of spot to present as well as we fly onwards. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like right there, and it's just like completely sunk, which is funny. And it's always humorous seeing those little details. But I mean, I think generally it's kind of perfect, for what it is in regards to capturing the depth of places. So here's the park. I thought it was a nice little kind of place to showcase. There's a zoo and everything's a part of this. I guess this is like the Regent's Park. We've got the London Zoo. It's kind of neat. And just another little area to highlight and showcase within the game, because it's interesting. And over there is Hampstead Heath. But I think that's about the end of our tour. I hope you enjoyed this look at, the city of London, some of the key points, and I'm sorry if I missed anything that was absolutely essential in this area. And yeah, that concludes the end of our tour. See you out there in the sky.